Saudi Arabia, a land of vast deserts, bustling cities, and a rich tapestry of history and culture. The name brings to mind huge deserts, shiny skyscrapers, and a wealth of natural resources. The vast stretches of sand dunes like the Rub al Khali or the Empty Quarter are some of the largest in the world. Yet amidst these ancient landscapes, modern cities like Riyadh and Jeddah rise, showcasing a blend of tradition and innovation, and tons of money from oil. The discovery of oil in the 1930s transformed the kingdom, turning it into one of the world's wealthiest nations. Oil rigs and refineries dot the landscape, symbolizing the country's economic might. This black gold has fueled rapid development and modernization, bringing unprecedented wealth to the region. It's a land of old traditions and fast changes, where ancient customs coexist with cutting-edge technology. In the bustling souks, or traditional markets, you can find merchants selling spices, textiles, and handcrafted goods, just as they have for centuries. Yet, just a few blocks away, you'll find sleek skyscrapers and high-tech businesses, representing the kingdom's drive towards a diversified economy, a place where the call to prayer can be heard in busy cities. 5 times a day, the melodious call to prayer echoes through the streets, reminding everyone of the kingdom's deep-rooted Islamic faith. Mosques, both grand and humble, are scattered throughout the cities, serving as places of worship and community gathering. As the birthplace of Islam, and with the second biggest oil reserves in the world, Saudi Arabia is a powerful country. The holy cities of Mecca and Medina draw millions of pilgrims each year, reinforcing the kingdom's spiritual significance. Meanwhile, the vast oil fields continue to play a crucial role in the global energy market, underscoring Saudi Arabia's geopolitical influence. But behind all the money and power, there's a different story. Beneath the surface of prosperity lies a complex web of challenges and contradictions. The rapid pace of modernization has brought about significant social changes, sometimes clashing with traditional values and norms. The kingdom has problems with its economy, the environment, and its society that could change everything. Economic diversification efforts are underway, but the reliance on oil remains a critical issue. Environmental concerns such as water scarcity and pollution pose significant threats to the kingdom's future. Social reforms are being introduced, but the path to a more open and inclusive society is fraught with challenges. And it's society that could change everything. The kingdom stands at a crossroads, balancing its rich heritage with the demands of a rapidly changing world. The future of Saudi Arabia will depend on how it navigates these contrasts and challenges, shaping a new narrative for the generations to come. The world is changing, and Saudi Arabia is having a tough time keeping up. People are using less oil, which is a big problem since oil is so important to Saudi Arabia. Also, young people want more jobs and more freedom. The old ways of doing things, based on oil money and strict rules, are being questioned. Can the Saudi royal family handle all these problems? These pivotal moments in Saudi Arabia's history. For over 100 years, Saudi Arabia has been all about oil. The oil they found in the 1930s made them super rich. Oil money made the country's economy boom, taking it from poor to rich really fast. But depending on just one thing has a downside. Saudi Arabia's economy goes up and down with the price of oil. They're stuck needing oil, the very thing that made them rich. Things are changing for Saudi Arabia. People around the world are using less oil. Things like solar and wind power are becoming more popular. Electric cars are also becoming more common, meaning people need less gas. This is a big problem for Saudi Arabia. They really need to find other ways to make money. Saudi Arabia knows it has a problem. They have a plan called Vision 2030 to change their economy and society. They're building new things like Neom, a futuristic city. But some people don't believe it will work. They think it's just for show. These projects cost a lot of money and people wonder if they will really help everyone. Things are serious for Saudi Arabia. If they don't fix their oil problem, bad things could happen. The economy could get worse, people could get angry, and the government could become unstable. The world is watching to see if Saudi Arabia can change. It's time to do something big. Saudi Arabia is mostly desert, so they know about water shortages. But things are getting worse. It almost never rains, so they use underground water. but that water is disappearing fast. Wells are drying up and farmers can't grow food. What will happen next? Saudi Arabia makes fresh water from seawater. It's called desalination, and it uses a lot of energy. Saudi Arabia makes more desalinated water than any other country. This helps, but it's expensive. It takes a lot of electricity, which comes from burning oil. So, they're using oil to make water, which isn't good for the environment. They also have to figure out what to do with the leftover salt. Heat waves are happening more often. The hot sun makes it hard to grow food, so Saudi Arabia has to buy food from other countries. Saudi Arabia's environmental problems are serious. Water shortages and climate change are big threats. If they don't do something, things will get worse. Less water, less food, a bad economy, and angry people. They need to change how they use water, make energy, and grow their economy. They need to find ways to protect the environment. But if they can't, there could be problems. For a long time, Saudi Arabia has had very strict social rules based on Islam. But things are changing. The Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, is trying to modernize the country. Women can now drive, movie theaters are open again, and there are music concerts. But some people don't like these changes. It's a battle between old and new. The Crown Prince has made some changes, but he's also arrested people who disagree with him. Activists, journalists, and anyone who criticizes the government can be arrested. The government is also watching what people do online. Other countries are concerned about this. The murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi was a big problem. The US government has said it will hold Saudi Arabia responsible for human rights abuses. Everyone is watching Saudi Arabia. Can they modernize and change their society while still following their traditions? Can they give young people what they want while also respecting the old ways? The future is uncertain, but the choices they make now are very important. Part 1. A kingdom adrift in a sea of change. For a long time, Saudi Arabia was the most powerful country in the Middle East. Its strategic location, vast oil reserves, and religious significance made it a key player on the global stage. The kingdom's wealth and influence were unmatched, and its leaders were often seen as the voice of the Arab world. Its oil and its control over the holy cities of Mecca and Medina gave it a lot of influence. The oil industry in Yemen. This rivalry is causing a lot of problems in the Middle East. Part 3. The shifting sands of global alliances. Saudi Arabia's relationship with the US isn't as strong as it used to be, so they're looking for new friends. China and Russia are becoming more important partners. This is a risky strategy. Saudi Arabia needs to be careful not to make any enemies. Change will be difficult. What will happen when the world doesn't need oil anymore? This is a big problem for Saudi Arabia. If they don't sell as much oil, they won't have as much money. This could cause a lot of problems like social unrest. Saudi Arabia needs to find new ways to make money fast. Can Saudi Arabia really change? Can they become a modern country with a strong economy that isn't based on oil? It won't be easy. They need to be more innovative and create new businesses. They also need to improve their human rights record and be more open with the world. Saudi Arabia is at a very important point in its history. Everything is changing: the economy, the environment, society, and politics. Will they hold on to the past, or will they embrace the future? The whole world is watching.